A few years ago, I knew someone. He was visually everything I ever wanted. His personality seemed to match the traits that I would have wanted in a partner. He was ambitious and goal oriented, a take charge type of guy, competitive, and I liked that. Then, as time passed by, more and more of these traits that once intrigued me began to disturb something deep within me. That take charge type of energy began to feel like dominance. The ambition started to resemble materialism. The goal orientation began to look like obsession, and it seemed as though he had steered his competitive nature towards me. I dated around, but I never did feel that spark until a few years later when I met someone new. Unlike my ex, this guy was incredibly gentle to the point of being careful. He was patient and ambitious. I loved his methodical approach to life. I loved his observant nature. But time tends to pass by, and as it did, more and more of these traits that I once loved in him yet again began to disturb something deep within me. That patience felt like coldness and control. That observant, methodical nature seemed like a pretense. Everything he ever did felt as though it was done in an attempt to keep me at bay, out of possible cowardice, because love can be strong. So perhaps he's weak, so weak he has to dominate it. What was it about these two completely opposite men that disturbed me to such a degree, where my love turned to hate? Were they truly the only problem? Or is it that the only thing that was revealed within them were the parts of my story I was not ready yet to see? Everybody is you pushed out is a highly controversial concept, not because of how it's been proposed, but of how it's been interpreted and sold to the masses throughout the years. It would appear as though the majority of those who buy into this concept are the ones who have been starved for affection, attention, and love. And this demographic makes for an ideal pool for a concept that teaches you that free will is mostly mythic, and anybody you choose will conform to you if you see them as having been conformed. I will not challenge that belief today, but I will expand it so it can benefit you. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. How do you revoke? By questioning your estimate of it. Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. Yes, but why did you feel harmed in the first place? What is this perceived affliction revealing to you about the wounds within you that must still be healed? Now, a break from the parables. Communication, compromise, and commitment. The 3 C's of a happy couple. But when communication begins to feel like control, compromise begins to feel like submission, and commitment begins to feel like bondage, we have a real problem, and will sometimes define our partner as that problem. If this problem isn't solved, it will lead to the degradation of the connection until it eventually dissolves. But once the connection has ended, does it mean that the problem has been resolved? I would argue no, because if it had been, then why do we find ourselves constantly attracted and attracting the same types of people over and over like a personal pattern? It's the same person, but with a different face. Obsessive, destructive types who refuse to let us breathe. The avoidant, detached types who never even noticed that the relationship was dying in the first place. The toxicity in people who expose the toxicity within ourselves. Same person, different face. The only common denominator here is you. The concept of everybody is you pushed out can be used as an excellent tool for deeper introspection and for revealing the wounds within you that must still be healed. What was it about this specific individual that attracted you to them in the first place? What was that spark? You might answer, they felt familiar, they felt safe, you felt comfortable with them, they felt like home. But hun, was your home a good place? In my case, the dominant, take charge, ambitious man A felt highly familiar. Though he was new, I had known him before through my relationship with my maternal figure. Though all he ever did was communicate regularly, I read that as controlling. At the time, I still had internal beef with my mother. The observant, patient, and methodical man B felt equally familiar. I had known him before through my relationship with my very first paternal figure. Though all he ever did was rarely communicate, at the time I still had beef with my father. And though there are so many people in this world who are genuinely bad for you, I mean, there is no sane way to philosophize a fist to the face. Most times, it is our estimations of our lovers that lead us to believe they are just bad in general. If everybody is me pushed out, then what is broken and still raw within me that has caused me to interpret regular communication as control and a lack of it as coldness and manipulative control? Going deeper, why have I allowed myself to fall in love with a man who ignores me but notices the waitress? Why does that feel comfortable for me? Why am I still in love with a woman who was unfaithful and distant to me? Why does she feel like home? And the woman who is devoted to me and loyal to me, she's manifesting me, she feels suspicious. In the most literal yet humbling sense, human interactions really are all about you because they highlight what you want but are not prepared yet to receive. You said you wanted a passionate woman. Well, here she is, bud. But now you're perceiving her passion as dominance, just like your mother. Is your passionate woman truly the problem, or have you just forgotten to heal the wounds that have emasculated you? You said you wanted a man unlike your ex, where he was domineering. You wanted someone that would allow you space. But now that space feels like distance. And what's worse, you're beginning to suspect it's an intentional attempt to control your emotions. The mixture of manipulative control and absence, it reminds you of someone you used to know, and it provokes an unhealed wound within you, a wound of control and then abandonment. Your soul needs time for solitude and self-reflection in order to love, lead, heal, and create. You must nourish yourself first. The love you seek could very well be right in front of you, but you won't recognize it. Because your wounds are still unhealed. They're raw, they're sensitive to the touch. Devotion and loyalty, it's sensitive for you. You start to see her as clingy and controlling. Independence and emotional security, it's sensitive. It feels like he's too detached, and detached people abandon people. What is it about independence that makes you feel abandoned? What is it about support that makes you feel undermined? These are the glaring questions this beautiful concept can help you answer by revealing to you that they're obviously still relevant. There is no way to rectify the inconsistencies between what you truly want and what you're willing to accept, or between what you're receiving and what you're recognizing as being genuinely given, except for deep introspection. And when you're brave enough, therapy. Is his periodic distance really such a bad thing, or is it only in place because he trusts you while you've learned from experience to trust no one? Is her support of you really such a domineering thing, or is it just an expression of her love and adoration for you, while you, somewhere deep down inside, still feel infantilized. Everybody is you pushed out is such a beautiful concept, and it can be used in this way to help you see yourself, to expose yourself, to reveal to you those wounds within you that must still be healed. And until they are not healed, you will not recognize true love when it is presented to you. And it is always being offered to you with every person that you meet. Because, after all, love is not only a feeling. Love is not a spark. Love is a choice to keep that fire burning. And with that being said, thank you for watching this video. I truly do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I trust you'll give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more content just like this one. So, how did you like today's video, and what video would you like to see next? You let me know in the comment section down below. I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Toodles.